on Sunday.
Can you talk about Stanislaus and then also Sonoma?
Obviously we played both teams now, so we have a little bit more insight into who they are. Stanislaus was a tough loss the first time when they played here, and we lost in overtime. So I think it's a game that we're going to be focusing on and trying to, save a little face and turn things around there. Sonoma obviously is a big game for us. Last Friday, with a lot of stuff on the line, I think the result on against Sonoma may not necessarily reflect how the game went. I think we played very well against Sonoma, maybe even one of our best games of the season. We got a couple of bad bounces and shot ourselves in the foot a little bit, but I think overall it was a very good game. So I think on Sunday against Sonoma, we're going to be looking to come back out at home and try to solidify the season with a good performance against Sonoma.
Speaking of that final home match, you'll say goodbye to 5 seniors. One of those players is Zach Cannon, I'm sure. We'll talk about just the season he's had. I'm sure you'd like to have him for a couple more years.
Yeah, that's going to be a different one. Anytime you have somebody that's been as consistent as Zach has this year in scoring and helping the team, those are always hard to let go of because those things don't come along every week. It's going to be difficult to see him go, but we're going to have somebody step up next year and fill his boots and try to help move us forward.
How is he able, I know this is your first year of the program and being with Zach, but how is he able to have such a great season and with the many goals that he scored?
It starts with his athleticism and strength and technique and, all the things that go into makes him a special player as an individual. But then we also have a system this year that really kind of gives him the opportunity to get isolated 1v1 and create space for him and gives him an opportunity to use his individual technique as much as possible. And I think we've done a good job of getting him opportunities. And when you get a player as talented as him, multiple opportunities in a game, he's going to step up and take care of business, which I think you've seen him do day in and day out.
What are you looking to get out of these last 3 games, obviously, results aside?
One of the things that we've been talking about a lot this year is mental toughness and finding ways to get things done. We mentioned at the beginning of the year that, talent isn't the end-all be-all. Everybody has talent, and finding ways to use that talent to get results. The challenge is on now that we're not playing for anything in particular. And so now it's easy to see who players are. You get a sense for what their internal motivation is and how strong they are mentally to come out and compete and fight when it's just nothing but the pride of the program on the line. And I think what we're going to see this weekend are the players that have that inside of them, have the ability to step up and compete and play to the highest level that they're capable of when they're not playing for a conference championship. And I think that's going to be the big thing to take away from this weekend is who can we rely on building into the future to create a foundation of mental toughness and strength within this program.
Fred, I know that your focus is on the games that are left here and getting through and having some success in this season, but what happens come Monday? What do you start looking at? How do you start the off season and what goes from there?
Well, obviously we want to continue building on what we've started this season. We've put into place a foundation of style of play, expectations for work and commitment, and we want to keep that moving into the off season as well with our fitness program and trying to move people forward as individuals, but also concentrating on the team as well. And then obviously we're going to be hitting the road a lot and trying to build and improve the program through recruiting and putting a lot of effort into that and trying to replace some players that it's going to be very hard to replace. So it's going to be a lot of work from the players and from the coaching staff.
Thank you.
Coach, what improvement have you seen from your team over the course of this season that makes you go to next year and think that'll be a really good year?
One of the pieces of this puzzle for us that was a bit more inconsistent in the beginning of the season versus towards the end of the season is just consistently stepping on the field and competing as a team. We have talent. We had talent. We will have talent again next year. But unless we step on the field and we're willing to fight for each other and compete for each other and put a team product out there on the field, there's no consistency in that. There's no way we can talk about being a team in the mix or into consideration, or even trying to move forward from an understanding of what we can accomplish as a team, unless we can consistently step on the field together as a group and be willing to fight for each other every day. And I think, about the third of the way through the season or so, the guys started taking some really major strides forward with that. And I think most of the rest of the way of the year, we did a much better job of that. There's been a few blips on the radar, obviously, but I think for the most part, we've done a very good job of moving forward with that. And I think that's something that we're going to want to build on in the spring and move forward into the program, moving into next season.